TNA Turning Point is coming at us this Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving, and it is the most excited I have been about any TNA pay-per-view this year, mainly for just one match. But overall, the show looks fun. What we're going to be doing in this video is going match by match, giving our overall thoughts on what will happen, who will be the winners, who will be the losers, and what will be some of the major storylines going forward. If you enjoy this video, please consider leaving a comment down below, leaving a like, or subscribing to stay tuned for future content. It really does help a growing channel like myself. But with that out of the way, I am Isaiah Knowlton. This is Hot Tags Wrestling, and these are my TNA Turning Point predictions. Let's get into it with our first match. So Turning Point is coming at us on the 29th. Currently 7 matches. Yes, 7 matches announced for the card. TNA usually likes to stick into that 6 to 8 match spot, so I think it'll probably stay at 7. I can't really see anything else that they might add. First match, Frankie Kazarian versus Mike Santana. I've been a huge fan of Santana this year in TNA. Like, his babyface run as sort of taking the early Hangman Page and AEW route of just being this really cool work rate babyface who has this edge but is also very, very likable has just been really fun, and I've also been really impressed with his work. Frankie Kazarian, I can't say the same about. I haven't loved his work this year. I think he's been pretty boring overall. In terms of who I think is going to win, I think Santana is on his way up the card to a world title. If not a world title win, then at least a world title shot. And I think they are pushing him into the contender scene. I don't know if he's had a world championship match this year. I don't remember it, at least not on pay-per-view. So I think Santana gets the win here in his further ascent up the card. No real question there. Next up, TNA X Division, Moose versus Laredo Kid. I don't see any way Laredo Kid can win. How? So Moose won the title not too long ago. That's crazy. That's crazy that Moose has a 6.8. Moose is freaking awesome. He should have way higher than that. So he won it from Mike Bailey here. 10/27 is when he won it from Mike Bailey. So he's had it for just about a month. Actually, a month as of my recording today. So I can't see him losing, especially to Laredo Kid, who is no offense against Laredo Kid, but he is not a full-time TNA competitor like Moose is. So I think it'll be a very fun match. Really cool dynamics. Moose being like the hoss of all hosses in wrestling right now, and Laredo Kid being a very fun, flippy-dippy babyface. I think it'll be a very, very good match, but I don't think Laredo Kid's got a shot. Next up, 6-man tag, Kushida and the Rascals, that being Trey and Zach versus Ace Austin versus the Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys, current TNA tag team champions. I see the possibility of the Rascals getting the win, pinning the Hardy Boys to set up a future world title shot, but I don't think that's going to happen. I much more like the idea of Ace Austin and the Hardy Boys winning. I don't like the Hardy Boys. I think they are actively bad in 2024, but I love Ace Austin, so I would love for him to get the win here. I don't think he will, though. I think it'll be Jeff Hardy getting the pin over Trey Miguel. Yeah. Twist of Fate from Matt Hardy, Swanton from Jeff beats Trey Miguel. And then I think maybe when Chris Bay gets a little bit better, they'll be setting up a singles or a tag match between ABC and the Hardys. That's what my guess is. So Hardy Boys and Ace Austin take that one. Next up, no DQ match, Josh Alexander versus Steve Maclin. Toughie here because it's, Josh and Alexander and Steve Maclin, in terms of placement on the card, are pretty much at the same level. They're two top-tier talent, former world champions who are normally in the main event scene. Now, Josh Alexander did just recently turn heel with his new faction, the Northern Army. And I think that's going to be what cinches the win for him. Josh Alexander is going to be pushed up into the title contention picture based off of his win in this match. And I think either... Do they have another pay-per-view this year? I think they do. I think TNA has one more pay-per-view this year. I'll try to figure out what that is. But Nic Nemeth is the champion right now, and I don't want to spoil it, but I think he will be the champion towards the end of the year. Final Resolution is what the last pay-per-view of the year is called. I could very much see Josh Alexander getting a title shot on that pay-per-view after a win on Steve Macklin. So I think Alexander takes the win here in what will no doubt be a very enjoyable match that'll probably end with some chicanery from the Northern Army. But I think Josh Alexander gets the win. Now, the match that I am most excited for on this entire card, the match I am most excited for from TNA for this entire year, the Knockouts Women's title match, 2 out of 3 falls, Masha Slamovich, the champion, defending against Jordynne Grace. They had a match at Bound for Glory. Was that where Masha won? I'm going to say it was Bound for Glory. But I'm not 100% sure about that. Bound for Glory. 4 stars is crazy. Deserved way higher than 4 stars. That was an absolutely phenomenal match. But I feel like did not hit the ceiling that it could have. Because I feel like it wasn't given enough time. I feel like these two have a 5-star match in them. They have the potential to have the best women's match of the year in any promotion. I feel like they have the potential to do it. And I'm really, really hoping they are given opportunities to succeed and they're not given... They're not just given another 15-minute block to do this in. I'm hoping they get 25 minutes, honestly. I am up for it. I want to see 25 minutes of Slamovich versus Grace. I think it'll be match of the night, match of the card. And I think Slamovich wins because she has not been champ for too long, about 2 months. I think Grace is going on to do some other things. But if she's going on to WWE and maybe doing some more stuff in NXT, would they want to have the championship on her to sort of rep their brand a little bit? I don't know, that is a little tricky thing that I literally did not consider till just this moment. If Grace might do some more stuff with WWE, would they want her to be the Knockouts champion? I think they would love it, but I'm sticking with Masha. I think Masha is the next pillar that you build the Knockouts Women division around, because Grace for so long has been there's been no one else in the singles division other than Jordynne Grace, and she is the back. If she wasn't there, it would be a joke of a division, but she is literally holding it up on her gigantic muscly back. And I think Masha Slamovich is the next person to do that, moving out of the tag division, which she's been in for the majority of the year, now holding up the singles division. It is Masha's time. I'm sticking with her to retain in what will be hopefully the best match of the card, and I think undoubtedly a Thanksgiving Turkey Bowl match. Now, I actually had to look this up earlier because I did not know what this stipulation was. Apparently, from what I read on, I think it was just Wikipedia, so it could be complete bullshit, the loser has to put on a turkey suit. I think that's the stipulation. Weird match. And especially weird because, PCO, I get it. Brian Myers, sure. Eric Young, I get being in there. Joe Hendry, I get being in there. John Schuyler, don't really know who that is. Hammerstone? You're putting Alexander Hammerstone in that match? For what reason? I don't know. So if that is the stipulation of the match, it doesn't matter who wins, it just matters who doesn't lose. So I think in this match, Joe Hendry is going to pin Brian Myers. And Brian Myers is going to wear a turkey suit. And I think the match will suck. I'm very much not looking forward to watching that match. Lastly, world title match, Nic Nemeth versus Eddie Edwards. Not super excited for this match. Nic Nemeth is a good worker, not a great worker in 2024. Same with Eddie Edwards, so I think this will be a good, not great match. I don't see Eddie winning here. He has not been built up as really a serious contender. He has been in the tag division for the majority of 2024. And it seems like they are just throwing him in there as sort of a placeholder contender to Nic Nemeth. So I think Nemeth easily gets the win here. I have almost no confidence that Eddie Edwards will win this match. So, a rundown of the card. Santana beats Kazarian. Moose retains against Laredo Kid. Jeff Hardy pins Trey Miguel to get the babyface team the win. Josh Alexander beats Steve Macklin. Masa Slamovich, in match of the night, retains against Jordan Grace. I can't even remember what I said for this match. Hendry beats Myers, and Myers puts on a turkey suit. And then Nic Nemeth retains against Eddie Edwards. Those are my predictions for TNA Turning Point. And those are my predictions for TNA Turning Point. What looks overall like a pretty mid-card with one match that I'm so excited to watch. And I hope you guys are too. TNA this year hasn't been the best, but they have had some really cool stuff and some really high highlights. And I hope this show gives us the best women's match of the year. But let me know what you guys think will happen. Do you think Masha Slamovich and Jordan Grace will live up to the hype that I'm putting into it? Or will another match steal the show? Let me know down in the comments below. If you liked the video, please consider leaving a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content in the future, please consider subscribing. I have been Isaiah with Hot Tag Wrestling. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.